go.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Clipboard Confessional with Bobby and Anthony. I'm one of your hosts, Anthony Aniano, and we are excited here. Week two of your fantasy football season, of your NFL season is upon us, and I'm happy to be joined, as I am each and every week, by my colleague, co-host, good friend, Mr. Bobby Waugh. Bobby, week one is in the books. I'm afraid to ask how it went for your fantasy teams. But week two is upon us. I got Josh Allen left and right in week one. I'll be honest. I took some thumpings because of Josh, but I did all right. How'd you do in week one?
I did pretty well. I did pretty well. I did not get Josh Allen, so that's good. Fantasy is so interesting to me. I try to be Eli Manning, and just kind of like no emotion, just kind of get through it. But for me, do you feel joy? Like if you win a championship, do you feel happiness?
Absolutely.
I just feel relief. I don't even get
Okay.
it's
I could get behind that sentiment. Yeah,
because
I could
I
get
just
behind that.
in my mind with all the work I put in and all this stuff, I anticipate it. I'm like if I don't win, I'm upset. So the best feeling I get is relief, and the worst is just unbearable anger.
It's the never-ending second guessing. I mean, in one league last week, I was debating Juwan Jennings and Ibuka.
Mhm.
Used Egbuka, thankfully. In another league, I debated Egbuka or DK Metcalf. I went Metcalf. He was okay, but he wasn't Egbuka. It's that stress. But you know what? I say it all the time, right? Week two is, hopefully things have been sorted out. And now you got a clearer picture of maybe what you have on your roster. You tweaked a little bit on the waiver wire. Hopefully nobody went crazy adding and dropping. It's too soon, I think, too soon to abandon any plans. But and I know you did a great thing. And guys, I want to remind everybody, if you're listening to this, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends about it. Bob's going to come at us earlier in the week with a quick little waiver wire video. Two of us will come at it at the end of the week at some point and preview some of the action to help you set your lineups. So that's the plan going forward here with Bobby and Anthony here on the Clipboard Confessional. So if you like it, share it. That's all we can ask of you. We do appreciate it, right, Bob?
7 minutes. I got that waiver wire video in 7 minutes, which
Done.
is
Yeah.
glorious.
I mean, your morning poop with your Bobby. I mean, that's really what that's going to be. That's what that's going to be. It's going to be you get out of bed, you go, you sit, and
Oh,
you sit there with Bob, and that's all.
wiping
I
with
mean, that
wall.
makes what's that?
Wiping with wall. Is that what we want to call
Wiping
it?
a wall. There it is. Wiping. That is fantastic. Actually, you need to
Oh, it's
trademark that right now.
awful. Gosh, that's gross.
That's you got to trademark that. Anyway, let's get into some news around the league. Like, make sure everybody's aware of a few things going on, and we'll start with the big spot. That's the San Francisco 49ers. They're playing the Saints in New Orleans. Thankfully for San Fran, it is the Saints. I think they could beat them, maybe probably with the B team. But nonetheless, Brock Purdy, 2 to 5 weeks with a toe and a shoulder. Kittle hits the IR with a hamstring. He's going to be out a while. Jennings is banged up. Reports are that he's going to play. McCaffrey somehow is healthy. Mac Jones is starting at quarterback. Ricky Pearsall is the wide receiver left standing. Um, I'm not worried about this game against the Saints. I still honestly do think they could beat the Saints. I think the defense will carry them. But nonetheless, fantasy wise, going forward, like who are we willing to play? Who do we trust? It's just a two-man show right now in San Fran.
Yeah, that's it for me. Two man, two men. I'm going Pearsall and I'm going CMC, and I'm not thinking too hard about it. I mean, even if Jawan Jennings plays, like you said, how many targets is he really going to get?
Yeah.
I mean, from what I understand, he's pretty banged up. And listen, Kyle Shanahan's no dummy. Okay, he's not Trey Lance pick aside. He's going to bring in players, especially at the quarterback position, that can run his system. And Mac Jones looked good at times. I mean, he was the rookie of the year several years ago.
Yeah.
And then he looked fairly decent filling in for Trevor Lawrence last year. I mean, he didn't come in and poo the bed, but he's going to be able to run this system, I think. Now he's not going to light up the scoreboard. I'm not putting Mac Jones in my lineup, but I think Pearsall will be fine. BTJ, Brian Thomas Jr. for Jacksonville certainly was last year. Mac Jones starts.
Yeah.
And Christian McCaffrey, my gosh, we talked before we got on here. He might get 150 touches in the first 3 games of this season, and he may never play again. But I'm going to
They got to
reap
play
all
him
the
till that
rewards,
calf
bud.
rips off.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
you're not.
agree with
Are
you.
you starting Jennings?
No,
Okay.
not unless I absolutely have to. And in a league where I have to absolutely have to, it's a four wide. You have to start probably four wide receivers, and so now you're looking at Juwan Jennings in the top 50 of wide receivers, right? He's so that's about it. Drake London looks like he's going to play. A couple of other guys who did get banged up, it looks like they're in good shape to play. So that's good news. Other bit of news. What's that, Bob?
Are you worried about Xavier Worthy?
I'm not. You can't play him.
Okay, because I think he's going to be on the field, maybe.
Maybe you can't
But
play him.
I
You
know
can't
that
risk that.
they said right, I agree. If I've messed up my shoulder in college a little bit, and in my opinion, if it, listen, I went to college, I wasn't in the NFL with these NFL doctors and all that stuff. I know you don't want to get surgery, but I had to play in a brace, and it was, I'm sure the braces, what they have is way better than what I use,
Yeah.
but it was very cumbersome. It was difficult to move. Your arm swing is off, your stride is off, trying to
I don't
high point
understand
the
how he get
ball.
his arms up over his head.
That is the biggest issue that I had wearing the brace I had to wear. So I can't. I'm with you, man. I can't start him.
Yeah, I can't start him. I can start Hollywood Brown. 16 targets last week. That's a
Yeah,
big number. And
the
and you'll see Juju Smith-Schuster in some spots in some deeper leagues as well.
yeah
Um,
Hollywood though. I feel like, man, we've seen this story for several teams. He'll
yeah,
have a good game, and then he absolutely disappears. And not just in the stat sheets. That dude's in the blue tent all the time.
yeah.
So I know he was a big waiver wire ad this week. I hit the brakes on him. I wasn't going to put a lot of fab out there for him because I feel like this is a rerun. But hopefully he proves me wrong.
Who was your top ad at wide receiver if you needed to? Or Calvin Austin, Hollywood Brown, or Quentin Johnston?
Of those, I would. Oh gosh, that's tough. I would probably go Hollywood if I had to go between those three, but
Yeah,
slightly above Johnston. I'm not interested in Calvin Austin right now. I still think I know Roman Wilson got like almost
nothing.
no play, right? But I'm still not completely out on him, end of a bench kind of guy. But Calvin Austin's going to have to show me a little bit more.
Who was your, if you had Kittle, were you buying into Jawan Johnson or Harold Fannin from Cleveland to replace Kittle?
Well, luckily, I had Juwan Johnson in a couple places. I was a little bit higher than him than most. But yeah, I think it's Juwan Johnson because who they throwing to? I mean, it's Olave and then who? Even Kamara didn't even get that many targets. What did he get? Only two or
Yeah.
three targets, I think. Juwan Johnson led the team, right? 11 targets, something or 8 targets, 11 targets, 8 catches, something like that. And so, yeah, Juwan Johnson has proven himself, I think, to be a pretty reliable pass catcher, at least with Spencer Rattler. And I don't even know how much he lined up in like on the line in a traditional tight end set. They had him out in the slot, moving him around. So definitely Juwan Johnson for me. But we may talk about Brenton Strange here in a little bit.
Yeah, fair enough. I agree. I was able to get Zach Ertz in the one league. I had
Yeah,
Kittle. Ertz was on the waiver wire. Nothing sexy, nothing fancy, but at the end of the day, it's 10 points. It's 4 or 5 catches. It'll be 10 points. It's safe. It's not going to win me anything, but I'm not worried about him taking a zero either. All right,
we
let's
should have
get
had him.
into the.
I was just
What's
say we
that?
should have had him on our boring picks episode.
Yeah, he is. He's a boring pick, but
Except he wasn't picked.
exactly. That's how boring he was. All right, let's get into some news and some player evaluation here. Let's start at the quarterback position. Now, we're not going to talk Josh Allen. We're not going to talk Lamar Jackson. The obvious are the obvious. But there are some interesting plays this week that we need to hit on. So I'll throw it to you first. I want to hear what you have, and then I'll see if there's anybody that I had in mind that I wanted to get your take on. So starting at the quarterback position, is there anybody flying under the radar that you're like, this is a good spot? If you're not, if you don't have one of those top elite guys and you're streaming, I guess, every week at quarterback, who are some of those under the radar guys that you kind of like this week?
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the quarterback 28 last week, only scored 7.8 points. I was higher on this fellow in during draft season, and I'm certainly not counting him out now. And that is Mr. Dak Prescott. Eagles defense is pretty tough. He peppered CeeDee Lamb with targets.
Yeah.
And this week they get the Giants, and that Giants front did not do the damage against Washington that I thought they would. So, and Dallas's offensive line actually played pretty well against Philly. Now, Philly didn't have Jalen Carter because he's an idiot, but if they can keep this pass rush at bay, I think that can pick this team apart and easily be a QB1 for you this week. Oh, dude, shout out to the fantasy footballers for this fun fact I'm going to share with you. Dak Prescott has won 13 straight games against the G-men.
Oh,
Sorry,
that's
buddy. I know
unbelievable.
you're a Giants fan, but 13 in a row is wild.
Giants are already awful. So the Jackson Dart countdown is on. But it's funny you say that. In a guillotine league, my two quarterbacks are Bo Nix and Kyler Murray. And the team that came in last week, and thus everybody hit free agency, I didn't bid enough for the top guys, but nobody bid on Dak, who was his second quarterback. So I was able to grab him just for free, first come, first serve. And I'm probably starting him this week against the Giants over Bo Nix, over Kyler Murray. I'm still comfortable. Like Murray is tempting to play, but I kind of have the same sentiment about Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I'm with you. Murray, you'd think he has a great matchup. They play Carolina, I believe. But once again, it's like, are they going to need him that much? I wasn't high on him
Right.
last week against the Saints because I didn't think they need him that much. Just give the rock to Connor and Benson and get on with it.
Any other quarterbacks you like?
Dak was the main one I focused on. I liked him simply because he wasn't, that big of a highly drafted guy, and also
Mhm.
because he absolutely stunk up the joint. But how about Geno Smith?
Yeah.
How great did he
Tough
look?
matchup though against the Chargers.
It it is, but he's probably going to have to throw if they want to have a chance to win. I mean, if they
If
come out,
Bowers doesn't play,
oh yeah, no,
right.
no. I mean, that'd be like if CeeDee Lamb didn't play.
What are you going to do about Bowers? Because he's listed as questionable, and he's the last game of the week. He's 10 p.m. Eastern Monday night.
Yeah, I'm gonna find my rabbit's foot. I'm gonna cross my fingers and toes. I'm gonna pray a little bit. Maybe go outside and look for a four-leaf clover. But if I have a decent backup, maybe if I have a Jawan Johnson. But my gosh, I'm really hoping that he gets out there. That's it. These are the fantasy spots nobody wants to be in with those late
Right.
games. I know, and the question
It's
marks.
awful.
Yes.
Right. I mean, your other pivot is, I guess, maybe add the tight end from the Chargers at the last minute,
I mean, you could always get Michael Mayer. He was even
Michael
part of the
Mayer, and
he was
just
part of the
pivot
game
at the
plan.
last minute. That might be
Yeah,
the move you have to make
yeah.
because you want Bowers in your lineup, but he is legitimately the last option, the last game, and that's a tough spot. A couple of other quarterbacks I want to get your take on,
Sure.
and I know how I feel. Are you buying any of the Daniel Jones hype?
I'll buy a little bit. He is rushing somehow every year. Everyone says Daniel Jones rushing is underrated. Eventually, it has to stop being underrated and at least be properly rated. He's always a threat to get you 40, 50, 60 yards on the ground, which is a great floor to have as a quarterback. And dude, I texted you during that game and I said Daniel Jones is what was it? Was he 10 for 12 at the time or
Yeah,
something? And I'm like, it would take Anthony Richardson twice that many attempts for that completion percentage. And or to have that many completions. He looked, I don't it feels weird to say, he looked good. He
yeah,
he looked like a decent, better than decent starting NFL quarterback, and you haven't been able to say that about him very much.
yeah. I'm struggling to buy the hype. He does it again. Listen, it's a brutal matchup against Denver, but if he does it again, then I'll definitely pay more attention to it.
Especially it being Denver.
Yeah, yeah. One more quarterback I wanted to get your take on, and it's another one who had a good game. What about Aaron Rodgers? Is he a startable play? I mean, four touchdowns, four touchdowns. So is he startable at home against Seattle.
I think that he is. Obviously, it depends on who your other quarterbacks are and what you're going here. But I think because of Rodgers and how he is going to want his boy DK to get his revenge. Rodgers got his revenge last week beating the Jets. DK's going up against Seattle, and I think Rodgers is going to absolutely force feed him the ball. And DK, I think, is going to have a really nice week. But yes, I think you can start Rodgers. That Seattle defense, I believe, Emanwari, the rookie safety, who's uber talented. I think he may miss due to injury. I know Tariq Woolen looked bad
Yeah,
this past week. So Rodgers certainly has a chance to put, what's he going to be? QB 10-ish, QB 11-ish? He can probably sneak in the QB 1 range.
fair enough. Uh, Aaron Rodgers or Justin Fields at home against Buffalo?
Oh, don't come on. You know
Start
this
Justin
answer,
Fields.
buddy. Oh,
You're in. You're in on
Fields
Fields
for
even
days.
against Buffalo.
Lamar Jackson just had a nice week, didn't he?
Yeah, it's Lamar Jackson.
I know, but they have similar games. And actually, I'm down for all the Jets. Derrick Henry had a great game. Zay Flowers was a wide receiver 1 on the week. I like Wilson. I like Hall. I like Fields. They're screwing me though. You know this. Last week I said this is going to be great for my Jets. They're gonna stink against the Steelers. The Bills are going to have a good defense, and then I'm going to trade for all of them, and
Yes,
I'm going to get a bargain. And they're screwing me. I don't know what I did to them. I talked them up all off season, and now they're sticking it to me.
they
But
put
no,
him
but
up.
but
They put it up.
but but seriously, I would take Fields. His rushing floor, he looked good. I mean, he was
He
going
did.
through his progressions. He was going to his second read way more than he probably ever has in his career. So I don't know if it's a new offense or what, but he looked probably one of the best I've seen him.
Absolutely. I agree. He's in lineups. In a two QB league, using him and Jared Goff. I'm putting Drake May on the bench.
You gotta you like golf last week?
I used Goff last week. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. But that Green Bay defense is off the charts. This week, Goff is at
Yeah.
home against the Bears. Put him in the dome. Put him on the turf. It's a different game for the Lions offense. That's what I'm counting on. Um, Running back position. Now, there's a few names I have in the back of my mind, and I want to get your take on. But let me go to you first. Who is somebody maybe again outside of those top tier guys? We're not talking about Bijan, Jameer Gibbs. Who is somebody you like for this week?
I'm actually going to go for a guy's probably the RB3 on his real NFL team, and that's Dylan Sampson for the Cleveland
You
Browns.
stole my guy. I'm not expecting Junkins to play. So for me, it's Jerome Ford and Dylan Sampson. And Bobby, you've been listening to me for a long time in other locations. Talk about, well, yeah,
Say it.
yeah.
Go
What's he
ahead.
gonna do? He's gonna PPR you to death. I haven't been able to
Right.
use that since Danny Woodhead retired, and Dylan Sampson is bringing it back.
Yeah, no, he looked great. And actually, Dylan Sampson was my RB5 in this draft class, and this was a really good draft class. I had him above guys like RJ Harvey. I had him above your boy Cam Scattaboo, above Caleb Johnson. I loved his game. I saw a little bit of Bucky Irving in his tape. And the thing that killed him, and we mentioned this in the over the summer, is his landing spot. I hated because I was so high on him. I hated that he went to Cleveland after they already took a rookie running back. However, he was 5 for 58 in the passing game, and um, James Cook just cooked the Ravens, and I like Dylan Sampson. They're going to be playing from behind. They're going to need him, and Jerome Ford looked like garbage.
Yeah,
So I think
uh,
Sampson's going to get you double digit points without scoring.
yeah. He's a fantastic flex play. A fantastic flex play.
Yes.
How concerned are you about his usage once Junkins returns?
First off, you and Jeff Mans love Jeff Mans also on Sirius XM radio. You say Junkins. I think it's Judkins. It's a D and a K. It
I don't
throws
know how
you.
to read.
I
I'm a
don't know
math
what
guy.
it is. I think it's Judd. I don't know.
Judkins, right?
I think so.
Judkins. What do I
I,
say? Junkins? I use an N
yeah,
instead of a D.
it might be
Judkins.
New York. I don't know.
It's a New York thing. Judkins. Judkins.
Yeah,
Now I'm
I
going to
don't.
be saying
I don't know how much I'm worried about it. Neither one was like a super great pass catcher in college. They both did it some, but they're not going to use Judkins as a three down back, and they're not going to use Dylan Sampson that way either. I could see this being a Judkins gets two drives, Sampson gets two drives, plus the 2 minute drill work and some extra third downs sprinkled in there. I think this could be a team that has two startable running backs as far as fantasy goes for the rest of the year.
Yeah, it could very well be. I do agree. What is your take in Jacksonville? Travis Etienne, a monster game last week, 140 yards. Bigsby goes to your Eagles to be a kick returner. Who knows who's going to be the true backup to Saquon there over time? They're saying it's still going to be Shipley. And once that trade was announced, the social media swill hole went off on Bashol Tutin, and I kind of watched it and I said, wait a minute. All he's doing is moving up to Bigsby's role, and Bigsby didn't have a major role last week. Now, I'm not saying long term, I don't like the upside of Tootin, but Etienne's not going anywhere after 140 rushing yards in week one. Jacksonville's on the road against the Cincinnati Bengals, a Bengal team that allowed Dylan Sampson to have a nice game, especially in that PPR format. What do you is ATN suddenly in the circle of trust when it comes to running backs?
He was RB3 2 years ago, right?
Yeah,
I think ADP had him around like running back 36, 38, something like that. And if memory serves me right, I had him as my running back 26 or 28. I did not get him as much in drafts as I wanted to. I played the ADP game too often, where hey, he should definitely be there with my next pick, and I kept losing him that way. I did get him in a few spots, but yeah, dude, ETN is so talented, and with Liam Cohen calling the shots here, he's going to really open up ETM's game. And we already saw it once. I think he's going to be the lead back. I think he's going to be have a stranglehold on the carries, the catches as well. And I certainly think you should put Bashal Tutin on your team because Bigsby role maybe third down role here and there. He could certainly pay off. But if ETN goes down, I mean, you got no one else. They just
yeah.
Cody Schrader, I think they picked up off somebody's practice squad. Yeah, so wheels up for ETN. I love him. It's even more than I did, obviously. I mean, let's say this was the going into the preseason during the summer. How high would ETN have been with no Tank Bigsby? I mean, we're talking
Yeah,
RB 20-ish probably, So
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I'll play ETN over like Pacheco, who I'm losing a
Yes.
ton of faith in. Guys like that who just haven't really put up. Like I'll play ETN over J.K. Dobbins. I'll play him over Tyrone Tracy without even hesitation. Situations like that. What did you think of the rookies? Travion Henderson, Omari, and Hampton. Did you get enough out of them to trust them in week two?
If you own them, you're going to. Draft capital tells me there's no way you're putting them on your bench.
Yeah,
You may not love what you get yet, but people get so enamored with these rookies. You gotta wait, man. You gotta give it some time. Now, I'm not telling you to bench either one of them. I don't know what your rest of your lineup looks like, but rookies are rookies. Very few of them come busting out of the gates. Ashton Genty's been the best running back we've seen in forever, and what he averaged 2 yards a carry
yeah. And
in
he's
the
got a tough
opener.
game again this week against the
Right.
Chargers.
Now he scored, which is great, and that saved your day, kind of. But even he didn't look good. Give these guys some time; they'll be okay. Both of them.
Who is a running back you want to avoid this week?
Uh, I oh, I think I want to avoid. Well, I mentioned him briefly earlier. Alvin Kamara, if I can.
Yeah,
He was not super efficient against the Cardinals. San Francisco's defense is better than anticipated. I think Robert Salah was. I mean, I mentioned this last week or week before. What a great addition to that defense. Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet combined for 3 yards per touch against the San Francisco defense. Now, I know it's probably hard to bench Kamara. He's probably your fourth round pick. Maybe got lucky, got him in the fifth, but I don't know. Buyer beware on this one.
yeah, I kind of agree with you. That's a tough matchup. And the 49ers know their defense is going to have to win this game to them. And Robert Saleh, you said it. There are some people who are just born to be coordinators. And I think Robert Sala
Yes.
was born to be a D coordinator. That's just like Josh McDaniel will never
Mhm.
be a successful head coach, but he's a fantastic offensive coordinator.
100%. And
That's
I like the
Robert
guys
Sala
that
on the
know it.
other side of the ball. What's that?
So I like the guys that know it. Like this is my
Yeah,
lane. This is where I'm great, and I'm gonna like Vic Fangio. He's been coaching for. He's been a defensive coordinator like 30 years.
yeah. Knows
I
his
love it,
role, knows what he's best at, and just
and he's
stays there.
great.
Yep,
And I'm great at it. Mhm.
yep. Let's talk some wide receivers.
Yeah.
Like we said, Drake London banged up, but it looks like he's going to play. We got situation with the 49ers when it comes to health. Is there anybody standing out for you? Like Brian Thomas coming off a down week for the Jaguars has people all worried, no doubt about that. Um, Guys surprised Butte with the Patriots. Who stands out for you this week as somebody like, yeah, even in a league where I only use three wide receivers, he's one of my top three wide receivers.
So this guy, I mean, you mentioned BTJ, Brian Thomas Jr. He is definitely being started in your lineup for sure. Even if you have worries, you're not going to bench him yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm gonna go with another guy that's behind BTJ for sure. He was wide receiver 58 in week one, and I'm bringing him up because he has instilled fear in us for years. He is always hurt. He'll start games and get leave in the first quarter. He'll be a decoy for games, but I think you're okay this week, and that's T. Higgins. Jacksonville Jaguars are here this week. They're going to
Bengals
have to
offense
throw.
rebounds as a whole,
They have to, don't they?
you would think.
It was Joe Burrow threw for like 100 yards.
Awful.
It was
Yet they still won the game.
bad.
That's the amazing thing about the Cleveland Browns.
No, they didn't win nothing. The Browns lost it. I
Fair.
mean, how many kicks did they miss? Two, three kicks. But I mean, the Jaguars are going to have to throw every defensive resource they have to stop Jamar Chase. And T. Higgins, my gosh, he should just be. I mean, he should get double-digit targets this week.
Does AJ Brown rebound this week? I mean, it wasn't even that it was bad. It's like just Jalen Hurts just doesn't even remember the guys on the field sometimes. Does AJ Brown rebound to the status we expect him to be against Kansas City?
I'm hoping that he doesn't selfishly because I want to get him for cheap. I think he's going to have a very good season. But yes, he's not going to have as awful of a game. Was it one catch last week against
One for
Dallas?
eight.
Yeah, that's not happening again for sure. Let's not forget how good this Kansas City defense is. I know that the Chargers rolled into Brazil and Justin Herbert put it on them, but this is a good defense. And look, I mean, the last time they played, Philly whooped up on them. AJ Brown scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl. I don't think it's going to be like that. I would say it's somewhere in the middle. He he'll probably finish maybe a wide receiver two or three. I think he'll rebound some, but it's a tough matchup. It's not going to be easy.
Is the Charger offense good enough to support all three wide receivers?
No. There has there ever been an offense? This is a good question for our research team. Hey guys, do some research. Has there ever been a team that had three relevant receivers in fantasy? I know that we've done, every year basically we have a team that'll have two receivers in the top 24. Every now and then you'll get that AJ Brown, Devonta Smith year, the Tyreek Hill, I think Jalen Waddle year where you get two top 12 guys. But three is just not going to happen. And
So
that's
who's the
what's
odd
tough with
man out?
this. I think it's going to be all of them. I think it's going to be a Chicago Bears situation from last year where they just one game it's going to be Keenan Allen, one game it's going to be Lad McConkey. If I had to rank them, McConkey would probably be the wide receiver one, and Allen will be two, and Johnson will be three. But I don't think they're going to finish the year where you want them to.
Better flex play this week. Dylan Sampson or Quentin Johnston?
Samson, the workload's going to be there. You don't. Let's not get too crazy about Quentin Johnson. We saw a little bit last year, but he's been a bust.
He had eight
I mean,
touchdowns last year.
he
He had eight touchdowns.
right. And how did it help you in fantasy? Was anyone really touting him and super excited to have him
Well,
on their
I
team?
said it. I said it on the radio. I think even this morning. You were always chasing last week's game with Quentin Johnston.
That's perfectly said. Always. It's that Christian Watson like run he went on with Aaron Rodgers, where Christian Watson scored like 7 touchdowns in 5 games, and the dude still got $13 million because of it. And it was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. What about the tight end position with Kittle out? It's a thinner position. Like Tucker Kraft got in the end zone, but other than that, he didn't do much. Tyler Warren became Daniel Jones's best friend. But overall, Kyle Pitts showed a little bit of life with Atlanta. Is there anybody who stands out to you at tight end? I know you hinted at it a little bit
Yep.
earlier, and I kind of agree with you. So it's Brenton Strange with the Jaguars. You're kind of all in there.
I'm not all in, but I am if I have Kittle. I am if we find out soon enough that Brock Bowers is going to sit. He had a decent week last year, 4 for 59. He actually led the Jacksonville Jaguars in receiving yards. I know 59 is not a great number. However, um, who had a better week than him? Harold Fannin for the Browns, who plays tight end and just went up against his Cincinnati defense. So they've already given up a good game to a tight end, and most likely they're going to be playing from behind. So the tight end in a Jacksonville offense has commonly been productive. Evan Ingram 2 years ago, what he tied the all-time record for most catches by a tight end. Trevor Lawrence likes the tight end position. He likes to throw to those guys. So I do like Brenton Strange this week.
Just a little bit of a number here. I know it's only 1 week. Cincinnati Bengals last week in a full PPR format allowed 20.3 points to the tight end position.
Mm,
That's a combination of Fannin and Njoku.
yeah.
Um, the only team that gave up more, well, one of the only teams who gave up more fantasy points, it was the
Uh,
Baltimore Ravens, who are conveniently playing the Cleveland Browns. They gave up 22.7. The only other team that really allowed a monster game at the tight end position was the Seahawks. They allowed 24.4. So John Smith could potentially be in line for some numbers against Pittsburgh. But go back to the Cleveland and Baltimore. Baltimore gave up the points to tight end. Kincaid got in the end zone. But now you've got Njoku, the veteran. You got the young kid, Fannin. Is Fannin, in your opinion, somebody who had to be added? Or, and I've referenced this even with you before the season, is it Isaiah Likely from last year after week 1, and are you proceeding with caution?
I am certainly proceeding with caution. I think that likely comp is a great one. And it's funny because Harold Fanta was my tight end too in this draft class. I had him above Colston Loveland. Now we don't know how that's going to pan out. Certainly looks good week 1, but you're not going to forget about Njoku. He's your guy. This week 1, Joe Flacco's back there. He looks up. Harold Fanta's open this week. Maybe the Cincinnati Bengals go, look, this was a small school guy, Bowling Green. He was super productive, but do we really need to pay attention to him? Let's shut down Njoku. Let's shut down the big receivers on this squad. And then someone's got to eat. So it ended up being Fannin. If you have a spot at the end of your bench and you want to throw Fannin on there, or if you're in a tight spot, you lost your tight end, sure, throw him out there if you want to. But I personally, super cautious about Fannin.
Yeah, I agree with you. I kind of didn't go in on the bid. Places I lost Kittle, I played it a little safer. I went Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
I didn't want to ride the roller coaster. Zach Ertz, I'm just a plug and play and get my 9, 10 points, and hopefully that's enough with everybody else on my roster. Is there anybody else? I know we talked about it at the running back position. Is there anybody else, any other positions where you're trying to avoid players this week? Any other players you're going to avoid?
Oh, how about the wide receiver 1 from last week? Zay Flowers, we talked about what a great game he had against Buffalo. 7 for 143 and 1. Now that's not typical Zay Flowers play. And they're getting Cleveland, who just somehow held Jamar Chase and T. Higgins to a combined 5 for 59. So, and on top of that, is Baltimore really going to have to throw the ball more than 10 times to beat the Browns? I
Yeah,
can't imagine. I can't imagine they're going to have to do that. So I would be pretty wary about Flowers in your flex,
yeah.
or even wide
Baltimore,
receiver too.
crazy number. Cleveland allowed 10.9 fantasy points in total to all wide receivers last week.
Think
It's
about that.
crazy. It's a
Hey,
crazy no low number.
look,
Um,
I'm sure it's not going to happen too often, but if Cleveland can shut down Chase and Higgins, I worry a bit for Flowers.
Fair, fair enough. Fair enough. Let's look at the games themselves. So here's the scenario. You just got paid. It's Friday night. You just got paid. If you know the reference to the song, you're in the same age bracket as me. Nonetheless, you're going to put it all in on one game. What's your lock of the week?
It's who we just talked about.
Ravens? Yeah.
Ravens over the Browns. It has to be. Now, interestingly enough, I'm going to try to not use them as my survivor pick
You're going to
because
go Dallas over the Giants?
I'd certainly like to hold on to them. Dallas, I think I'm going to go Rams over the Titans, which I know is a little bit riskier.
I hate taking a road team.
I know, me too. I know, me too. But it's either going to end up being the Cowboys or the Rams for me. I don't even want to take, I know you don't like road teams, but the 49ers over the Saints, there's just too many injuries for me to do that.
Yeah,
So probably going to roll the dice with the Rams, but because I want to keep the Ravens, for later on in the year when things get tight.
fair enough. Now, is there a game? And I agree with you. Ravens are a lock. I do think the Cowboys are as close to a lock as could be too. Um, is there a game where you look at the line and you say they're a favorite, but they could be upset? Now I'll say this: it's at home. The line is 7. Can the Jets pull off the upset against Buffalo? I mean, we like Hall, we like Wilson, we love Fields. Is that an upset we could see? I'm just floating it out there. Is there an upset out there for you?
I like your Jets one. I'm not going to put any money on it personally, but look, both teams played great. Those were the two high scoring games last week, right? Steelers, Jets,
Yeah,
Ravens, Bills. Yeah.
yeah.
My gosh, there could be some fireworks in this one, buddy. For me, I'm going to pick a team that I think we both had as a playoff team that did not look like it week one and should have lost to the Cleveland Browns. They didn't win that one, they lost it. But I believe the Bengals are favorites over Jacksonville, and Jacksonville could roll in here. And if Cincinnati does what they did last week, the Jaguars are going to win this ball game.
Cincinnati favored by 3.5.
Yeah, and they're the home team, right?
Yeah.
You get three
You
points
get
just
three
for
just for being at home.
right. So we're talking half a point, my friend.
It's essentially a push.
Give me Jacksonville.
Now, I'd love to talk about our teams, but I have nothing to talk about. I'm the Giants, right? I'm just waiting for Jackson Dart at this point. Otherwise, there's nothing to talk about. But your Eagles, as we wrap up this show, like there's literally nothing to talk about. It's Malik Neighbors. It's awful. It's awful. You're texting me last Sunday. What do you think? I'm like, we're pivoting. I wanted Russell Wilson, and this is true. What do you think? I'm like, play Jackson Dart right
Yeah.
now. You were like, dude, you said give him the year. I go, the year's already over. Play Jackson Dart. It's over. It's over. It was halftime. It was 2:15 in the afternoon Eastern, and I was like, it's
Yeah.
over. Go to Jackson Dart.
It's
Nonetheless,
true.
your team is
I,
in a monster matchup.
yeah.
Eagles on the road in Kansas City. Eagles are the favorite, 1.5.
Really?
As
Oh,
of yesterday, 1.5. I'll double check the line in a moment, but it's 1.5. I have written down. Chiefs, the total on it is 46.5. Way more interesting than my Giants getting blown out by the Cowboys. You, my friend, have to make a decision right now. You're betting it all. If you miss, you're sleeping on my couch. You're sleeping on my couch if you miss. Your
I might
wife's
miss on
kicking you
purpose.
out. The kids are judging you forever. You're sleeping. You're going to take your pictures behind you, your microphone, and you're moving to New York to sleep on my couch if you miss. Who are you putting the money on?
What if I want to sleep on your couch?
We'd have a blast. We'd have a blast. We would drink to the point where my wife would probably be
Well,
embarrassed, but it would be such a good time though. We'd eat wings, we'd watch football, we'd drink beer, and I mean, let's just acknowledge it. It would be an outstanding time, an
where are my
outstanding time.
where are my keys? It might be time for a road
I'd
trip.
get you a New York bagel, bacon, egg, and cheese for breakfast in the morning. Enough of
Oh
that
yeah.
North Carolina bullshit. Get you a good New York bagel in the morning. You'd be all set.
Uh Jalen Carter's on the field, man, it's going to be tough for me to go against the Eagles. I'll take, gosh, I'll take Philly. The spread's probably right, man.
It's one and a
This
half. It hasn't moved. It's still one and a half. And the total is still 46 and a half.
hate that it's on the road, but I mean, like I talked about this before, Philly is such a young team. The biggest issue is going to be that cornerback two spot. It was awful. Dory Jackson's not it. Was it Ja'Cory Bennett or whoever the guy they brought in from the Raiders? Can't even remember his name. That's going to be a hole, and obviously the Chiefs are going to exploit that. But if we can get to Mahomes even half as well as the Eagles did in the Super Bowl, then I think we'll bring it home. Even on the road, that's a super tough place to play. I'm talking myself out of it, but I'll take Philly. Not I don't
There
feel
you
good
go.
about it. I don't feel good.
Taking the over or the under on the 46 and a half.
I'll probably take the under. I think the Super Bowl was a fluke. All those points, that's going to be tough to reproduce.
Fair enough. It's going to be, so to me, it's the best game of the day on Sunday. It's must watch. I mean, Sunday night football, Falcons, Vikings, Monday night doubleheader, Bucks, Texans, Chargers, Raiders. Yeah. 425 Eagles, Chiefs. That's the must watch game of the late afternoon and into the evening around the NFL. All right, everybody. Like I said at the start, we appreciate everybody who watches. If you like it, share it with your friends. Watch the waiver wire video Bobby drops earlier in the week. We'll preview the action later in the week right here on Clipboard Confessional with Bobby and Anthony. Bob, this has been fun as always. Enjoy the games this weekend, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Absolutely. Thank you all for listening. You are the man, Anthony. We'll see you.